And here I'm recording. Hi, welcome to the Homebuyer Seminar. This is Bill Gross, who's banging the keyboard so loud it distracts everybody. Welcome to our Homebuyer Seminar. We do this every
Yes,
week, along with my colleagues. Let's see, I got down there.
yes. Patricia Castillo. Hello, everybody.
Top producer for some team, and got an open house tomorrow in the lofts, and all kinds of stuff going on. And then our good friend and lender,
Shannon Lender, how's it going, everyone?
what's up?
What's
And
going
so
on?
we're busy, huh? I don't know about you. I'm busy. I think you said
Yeah,
though, Patricia, it's a grind. Like on one hand, I got a lot going on. Stuff's closing, but like every deal is a fight. Every deal is a close. Yeah.
I would say we need a crowbar to close the escrows right now. I mean,
Whew.
it's really, it's really a not just a grind, but you really have to be on your toes and just ready to come up with a solution
Yeah.
because
yep,
you have to have
100%.
double the amount of escrows right now because you might have some that are canceling. And so I've seen that lately a lot where I'm looking for property for my client right now. In fact, she opened an escrow on a property and then she decided not to purchase it for whatever reason. So we canceled. Listing agent was upset. Why are you canceling? They weren't signing our cancellation instructions, so they were holding the deposit hostage. And I sent him a text. I said, "Why are you being that way? Like you can't get emotional over this stuff. You know, it is what it is." So the market is a little challenging right now. It's definitely something that takes a lot of communication, over communicating in some cases, and making sure that you're on top of things that need to be signed. Your buyers getting the money into escrow, earnest money deposit, making sure the lenders, ordering the appraisal, completed the underwriting. I mean, it's something that you really have to be on top of right now. So I've seen a lot of listings that are back on the market that were canceled. And they keep saying I've been calling different agents asking, why did your listing go back on the market? And they said, well, the buyer's not performing. The buyer didn't qualify for the loan. The buyer simply changed their mind. So I'm seeing a lot of buyers that are being very picky and looking for that perfect unicorn, and so it's it's like a wild ride. It's a wild, wild west right now.
Yeah, I can attest to that too. I got like six, that are all closing in the next month. But every, like you said, every one of them, it's something. I have one that the appraisal came down 10,000. I
Hmm.
fought with the appraiser. I told him, no, look at this, look at that, look at that. He went up five. So the sellers are telling the agent, okay, we'll take it at, at this lower price, but you got to remove loan contingency in 3 days. And we didn't even know we were going to have a deal this whole time. So, but hey, we have to make it work. And if they want the house, then hey, I gave her a list of I need all these 10 things tonight and
Right.
get them to me, and we got to run. We got to run. So yeah, yeah, everything is a grind right now. I would agree with that. But there's transactions being done, deals being done. If you are on the sidelines, I can tell you right now, you're getting left behind. Again, if you're waiting for rates to drop, if you're waiting for a market correction, you're going to be stuck waiting because look, there's deals being done right now, deals being made, people buying second homes, as Patricia is experiencing. Patricia, I don't know if you want to share with you, but also people, as the first time home buyer,
Mm-hmm.
you may, you know, think about when you get your first house, this might not be your only house, or you might be wanting to co-sign or have someone help you that already has a house. Could that happen? Yes, it could, but you have to be cognizant of a few things. If you're looking at a co-signing, or if you're looking for someone to help you buy a house that already has a home, obviously we do have to take their mortgage into consideration when it comes to, hey, how can they help you in terms of your debt to income ratio? They still have a mortgage payment, so could they help you with your mortgage payment as well? This is something that you have to factor in. Have they been late on their mortgage payment? You're pretty much getting in bed with someone financially,
Mm-hmm.
so, whatever they've been doing with their mortgage is going to affect what you're doing on yours. Is it possible? Yes. Does it happen all the time? Yes. So, I would say if you are looking to buy a house with someone else who's already has a house, three things to look into. One, are they going to be living with you in this new house, or are they just co-signing? If they're living with you, it actually makes things much easier because we can actually use their existing property as a rental property. We can pretty much cancel out that payment if they're planning to live with you. If they're
Mhm.
not planning to live with you, it does make things a little bit more challenging. Not to say it's not possible, but it does make things more challenging. So number one, are they going to live with you? Number two, have they been on time on their mortgage payments? That this is very, very important. Number three, is the new property bigger or smaller than their home? Because
Mhm.
also too, or and how close is it? Is it closer to their job? Is it further from their job? Especially again, this goes back to number one, if they're living in it. So, the bank is going to look at all these things. So you got to look at, again, one, are they going to be living with you? Yes or no? Number two, have they been on time? And number three, is this an upgrade or a downgrade from what they have currently as well? And also too, the down payment may be affected. Sometimes some of these programs, depending on what it is, they may ask you for a little bit more down since you're not a first-time home buyer. That's another thing. Can I still take advantage of these first-time home buyer programs?
Right.
Depends. If you're looking for down payment assistance, a lot of times they want everyone who's on the loan to be a first-time home buyer. If you're looking for a normal, conventional, sometimes you could get away with that. So that's another thing to look into is, are you looking to take advantage of all the first-time home buyer programs and the down payment assistance programs? And if you are, sometimes, everyone on the loan, depending on the down payment assistance program, everyone has to be a first-time home buyer. So
Yeah.
these are some things to consider, but it's happening. I don't know if Batista can talk about this. People are buying second homes. People are helping other people that
Mhm.
already have a home buy. So that's also a possibility as well.
Yeah, I have a client that I met, oh gosh, now it's actually been longer than 2 years. I think it's probably been like 4.
Mm,
But when I met her, she was looking for an investment property because she already owns her home. But
mm,
now the circumstances with her family infrastructure have changed. So she needs a home that's on the same street as hers or within walking distance so that she can check on her mom.
mm,
And a home happened to come up for sale maybe 10 houses away on the same street. So I met with her yesterday. She wants to get pre qualified so that she can buy this home for her mom. So this is what I'm seeing right now, too, is homeowners are helping their family with either co signing or if they have their home paid off already, they don't have a mortgage on their home because they've lived in there for probably 30, 40, 50 years, but they're able to help their kids or other family members buy, essentially it looks like they're buying a second home because their name's going to be on paper, but it's for another relative in the family.
yes, yes. And this is happening a lot, you know what I mean? And this is great, you know what I mean? People helping people buy assets. I'd rather
Mhm.
co-sign on a house than co-sign on a car. Again,
Yeah.
you always want to try to avoid co-signing as much as possible. But if I were to want to co-sign, I'd rather co-sign on an asset. So just in case something happens, at least we can get our money back, if not more, if something happens. But it's always great. This is the generational wealth people are talking about, right? Putting assets under everyone's name,
Yes.
so I think it's a beautiful thing. I really do. So that's that. Another thing I was gonna say too is I've seen people that have co-signed on a property and now they're trying to buy their own property. I have had a situation where a client's buying a home, they co-signed for their sister, didn't tell me about it, but when I checked the credit, they have a mortgage payment on their credit. I said, "What is this?" That's not my house. My sister's, I co-signed with her a while ago. I'm like, "Well, people don't forget. It doesn't just magically come
Right.
off." So in this instance, what we're able to do is prove that the sister has been making the payments the last 12 months. Now, we had to get the bank statements from the sister, and that was a little bit of a fight. The sister obviously just didn't want to share that information, which, I get it, but
Mhm.
if you want to really help your sister get her new home, we have to, go through these proper channels. So
Right.
um, that's also another thing too. If I've already co-signed for someone else that I didn't live there, there is a possibility that you can remove that payment from your debt to income ratio when the bank is qualifying you one of the things we just have to do is make sure we have 12 months history of that other person paying the mortgage directly, not zelling you and you're paying
Right.
it. That's no, if it's coming directly out of their bank account, for the last 12 months and on time, there's a possibility we can get that removed and get you into this new house without other one affecting you.
How about dropping off paper cash every month and then make the mortgage in your wrap?
No, and that there's two red flags there. One, if the bank sees a big chunk of cash being deposited in your account, this is a red flag for money laundering. So I
Yeah.
do have a lot of clients that are, um, don't trust banks for whatever reason. They don't
Right.
trust banks. They have a lot of mattress mailbox money.
Uh-huh.
They're on the hustle. They're on the hustle. Let's put it that way.
Right. And this is what they tell me. They just don't trust banks. They get paid. They cash their checks. I'm none the wiser, right? But in this situation, unfortunately, typically the bank wants to see whatever money you're gonna use as the down payment. They want to see a paper trail. They want to see it in the bank for at least 2 months. At least 2 months.
Yeah.
So whatever money you have, they want it. You can't just shove the cash in and make a deposit to escrow. No, that money needs to be what's called seasoned. It needs to be in your account for at least 2 months, and then and they've verified. Or I've had people, get gift funds from family, and hey, whatever you guys want to work out behind the scenes, that's none of my business. But if you need to get gift funds because you don't trust the banks, that's fine. But what I always tell people, you're looking to get money from the bank. But at some point, you got to play their game. You can't have it both ways.
Right.
So cash isn't always king. You need to have it in the bank. You need to have it sourced. That's for sure. You can't just get a bunch of cash and give it to them to put down on a house. That just doesn't. That's not how it works.
When I started in this business, I was in the lending business. And in those days, we do an application, we take a check for the appraisal. And I'll never forget, I was selling, at the time, it was a big house in the country estates of Diamond Bar, which was, at the time, the largest gated community west of Mississippi, equestrian facility. Snoop Dogg, I actually sold, I did a loan for the buyer of Snoop Dogg's house. We sold that and bought a bigger thing, I think, at Chino Hills.
Wow.
Anyhow, I met with a buyer at the time, Industry Hills Sheraton. It's changed names since, but it was like the nicest hotel in the area, in the region. A nice hotel, nice lunchroom. I meet with the buyer and the buyer's boyfriend. She was Colombian, he was Filipino. This is the time of the fall of the Marcos family in the Philippines in the late 1980s. And I remember I asked for the deposit for the appraisal. At that time, it was $500. That'd be like $1,000 or $1,500 today. The guy just pulled out his wallet and gave me 5 crisp $100 bills with like the La Coca was like dripping right off of it. It was obvious this guy was not, getting tips. this was, and I never forget. It was a big deal. And I told my wife, when this deal closes, in those days I got paid at closing. We're gonna buy an engagement ring. We're gonna set a date. We're gonna get married. And I had the loan documents out for signature, and the customer got raided by the FBI with my documents.
Oh my God.
Called me on the phone. What do you know about this deal? I said, listen, here's what I know. The guy paid me in cash. We were allowed, in those days, we were allowed to take it and deposit. I worked at a branch office. And I said, I have my suspicions, but, what am I supposed to do? The guy goes, yeah, I get it. Don't worry about it. But so literally, there's people with cash and there's people with cash. So you got to know the difference. And anyhow, interesting story. I remember it to this day. Yeah.
Well, you're still here with us. You're a free man. I'm glad.
My agent later got arrested as well because he got into. Now, why do you get customers like that? Because he was kind of like that.
Yeah, he
and
was
I think unfortunately
in that
that
space.
kind of slightly, and they grew in that space and got big enough to where he had a problem and fled the country. And he's I see him on Facebook from time to time. He's in Ecuador. So.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Man, the wild real estate. You see all kinds of stuff in real estate.
Yeah.
Like my world's a very narrow, small, insular, where everybody kind of knows everybody. But you go into real estate, you meet some people who do some wild stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, for sure. So going back to it, cash is not key when it comes to buying a house. We have to source the money. It's got to be somewhere where we can track it and hey, where is it coming from? Things like that. I have had people say that, oh, I'm getting a big commission check. I'm getting, you know, what is it? I had a lady buy a house from a lawsuit from a car accident. Hey, all
Hmm.
these things, as long as if it's a big chunk coming in your account, if we can trace it somewhere, have a paper trail, you're fine, right? It's just again, when it comes to someone giving you all cash, that's when problems start.
Yeah, yeah. It can be done, but
Yeah,
you got to document it. There's ways, and
exactly. If we can
talk to your
document it, if
loan
it makes
officer
sense,
before
yeah,
you get started. Because
yes,
how many times, as a real estate agent, I've had lenders who weren't paying attention, and I remember finding out the customers. Yeah, I told him I'm paying my deposits cash. I said, well, does that mean cash is in Bank of America in a checking account? Or does that mean cash is and you walk in with $40,000 in $20 bills? And those are two different worlds. You can deal with it in the front end of the deal. You just can't deal with it at the end. It's too late.
exactly. And this is where, hey, gift funds come into play. Hey, how can we source this money other ways? There's again, there like Bill said, there's
Hmm.
ways around almost anything as long as you are truly doing things on the up and up, right?
Yeah,
First and foremost. So if you are, it's just hey, you have some quirks that you have under your deal. There's ways around it. You just
yeah,
like you
Right.
said, you got to talk to someone for
yeah,
sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
for
call
sure.
us.
Yes,
Call us early. Call your lender early. Get involved in the process early.
yes,
Real quick
yes.
update. I think we all want to give a good shout out to Shannon for doing a good job keeping interest rates low, down a little bit more this week.
Thank you, thank you.
Where are we at? 6.84, 6.78 on the overall rate. So down below 7. For all the noise about the volatility of the economy, it is like the clearest period in my career. It's been a little over 7, a
Yeah.
little below 7, a little over 7, right around 7%. And it doesn't look like it's going up
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna. This is our new norm. I think
for a
we
while.
should get. And I've been saying this since the beginning of the year. Get used to this. Get used to this. If it goes down, great. But you'd be in a better position if you had the mindset of interest rates are not changing at all. Operate under this market under these conditions
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure. For sure.
Hey, I'm curious. Do you guys see much when you talk to buyers or sellers discussion of this PR battle between Compass and Zillow, or is that just more in the real estate press and really it doesn't affect buyers or sellers?
Yeah, I haven't seen it on my side affect too many people.
Yeah, I haven't been asked anything. I haven't been asked what's going on or no mention of it at all.
No.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of within us. It's kind of fun. I kind of picked a fight with Compass, and some of the people kind of have come after me a little bit, and I'm enjoying it, but I don't know. I really want to make any more bigger deal of it than it is.
Right.
But anyhow, okay, good. Yeah,
It's gonna blow over just like the whole commission lawsuit did. I mean, nobody really talks about
I
that.
know. That just came and went. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That was such a big
well,
deal. It was such a big deal. I mean, it didn't affect us, but not initially. But
Well, see,
yeah,
I think it affects you without seeing it. So let me maybe push back a little bit and say, first off, every real estate contract has been rewritten. The forms
okay.
and every contract, residential has been redone. Every listing agreement, every purchase agreement has been redone, rewritten, reused. Every agent trained on the topic. Okay. Second, I don't think it's changed commissions other than every company spent all that time and energy on all those forms and all that training they could have spent on learning how to be better serving buyers and sellers. Instead, we spent all the energy, the most important, the biggest chunk of energy in the last year on really what's nonsense at the end of the day. And so I think that's the part where the other thing that you should know about the real estate industry is it's really an industry in depression. We're going to have less than 4 million sales nationally this year. We had about 6 million 5 years ago. And so that means that now I'll say personally, I'm having a great year. I work really hard. Now, I could easily do twice as much business if it wasn't so hard, but whatever, I'm not complaining. I'm doing really well. But I'm surrounded with agents who are really struggling. Patricia's doing really well, but she's working really hard. Like most agents who are struggling don't work like Patricia. They don't talk like she does. But the reality is companies are really struggling at the company level, are going bankrupt basically, being bought up. Redfin was bought by Rocket Mortgage, for example, and big companies being bought up left and right. And so I think what's happened is you can say, well, it didn't really affect anything. and it doesn't look like it. But the reality is, the industry has been suffering, and as a result, is not able to invest as much helping customers get better service. And so that's why, for me, I try to push back on those companies, Zillow, Compass, this lawsuit, because I do think it has hurt people, but it's invisible. It's one of those things that it's kind of like the deficit. You don't see it, but we know rates are higher than they should be. We just don't know why. Well, the fact the government owes $36 trillion is the reason why, but you don't see it. You can't put your fingers on it.
Got it. Okay. No, it makes sense. I think that's why we have these show. Good clarification.
Yeah, and I just wanted to comment too on that when I said that nobody's really said anything about the lawsuit anymore. Last year it was a big announcement. It was all over the news that buyers needed to pay their commission. So buyers were getting really nervous. They were like, okay, well, I can barely scrape up enough for the down payment, and now I have to pay commission as well. So I'm not even really asked about that anymore because sellers are still paying the commission for both agents. I haven't really come across a case that's not paying commission to a buyer's agent.
No, I agree with you 100%. And now I was like, today I was in court. And so in court, we confirm sales. We have a buyer, seller. The buyer made an offer asking the seller to pay the buyer agent's commission. The seller agreed to that. So that's the change in format. Okay. But interesting, the probate code hasn't been updated. So technically, the probate code would allow a 5% commission to the listing agent and doesn't really make any provision for paying a buyer's agent if there's an overbid. So technically, it's getting very technical, an agent could bring a buyer in and they could bid more. And unless the buyer has already agreed to pay the commission, the seller is not agreeing to pay any commission. And that's really wrong. The seller should pay the same commission they paid the first buyer to the overbid. Very technical. But my point is just to say, very complicated, a lot of overhead. Unfortunately, none of this helps lower the price of houses. I mean, the goal should be to find ways to help people buy houses. Everything else, I think, is extraneous. My job as a listing agent is to get the seller the top dollar, and this certainly didn't help them in any way. So that's why I want to push back a little bit because I have the time and the platform to push back on it. But I think you both said it doesn't really affect us on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap it up, Patricia. I know you're really busy, so you got an open house tomorrow, huh? What's up with that?
House tomorrow at the Loft in downtown LA. So it's in a really great location. It's near the Bread Lounge in the Arts District. So there's going to be a lot of foot traffic, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Oh, wow.
That's a great time because everybody's out having lunch. People are driving around. There's a lot of people that are actually coming in out of the building because there are some renters there as well. So I was talking to a couple of tenants that live there, and they were just telling me how much they love the area. They love that everything is close by. They can walk to all the amenities, coffee shops, to the bank, to go have lunch. So there's just a lot of great aspects about this loft. Not to mention the beauty of it, and it is a corner unit, so you don't have any other buildings or units that are obstructing the vision of the views. You have this beautiful rooftop pool, and these windows open up really nicely so you can see the entire view of the city of Los Angeles, and you see all the skyscrapers at night. I watched the sunset from there when I was there recently, and it's just a really great location. The views are all open, so you have just a really nice setting to be out, invite your friends over, have some margaritas and just enjoy the views and the sunset. I mean, it's really a great location, and it's on the 5th floor. So the windows wrap around the unit, so you have the views of the city from virtually any place that you're in within the loft. So if you're in the kitchen, the living space, you're in the bedroom, you have views of the whole city. So it's really an amazing place to be. And I will be there tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
And feel free to take your margarita out on the pool, enjoy the views, and
That's right.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay, so that's tomorrow. And then and if someone's to get a hold of you to either see the open house or come for an exclusive showing another time or any other business, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
My cell phone, 323-365-9909.
Great. Shannon, what do you have going on these days?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just bunch of pre-quals. People are buying, like I said, closing out six files. So 2 of them funded this week. Another 2 are
Nice.
going to fund next week. So just
Nice.
keeping the ball rolling, keeping the ball rolling. So if you want to get a hold of me, get pre-qualified. My number is 661-317-8484, or like my famous Instagram, FUND with Shannon.
Fantastic. No more fun because he's got a daughter to take care of now. So
Yeah.
it's fun with Shannon. Very good. Hey, I'm Bill Gross at Bill Gross Probate and Social Media. We do this every week. New episodes. If I can help, reach out. If you have questions, put it in the chat box. Either me or Patricia or Shannon will answer as appropriate. As always, make today your best day ever. Thanks so much, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.